It is the middle of the month, and can you believe that I've already filled up my tote? I am going to go ahead and show you everything that I've crocheted so far in the month of October. Hey, it's Tammy, Crafty Mompreneur. If you're new, welcome, and if you're not, well, welcome back. I usually do a monthly roundup of everything that I crocheted in a given month, but starting this month, I am going to be doing them twice a month to kind of coincide with where my markets fall, because for the next few months, I do have 2 markets a month. They are generally spaced out with at least a week in between, sometimes 2. And so rather than having things that I set aside or having to show pictures or whatever, I've decided to just do these videos twice a month with a part 1 and a part 2. So this is part 1 of everything that I crocheted in the month of October. The format of this video is going to be similar to the ones that I usually do once a month, where I'm going to show you everything that I crocheted that was new, that you haven't seen on my channel before first, and then anything else that has been included in another video will be towards the end of the video. And I'm also going to be talking about the puppies in the dog beds one more time. But be sure to stick around to the end of the video, because I have some embroidery tips that I'm going to be doing, as well as you're going to be able to see how easy or hard it is to take out safety eyes from crochet plushies. So let's get into everything that I crocheted so far in the month of October. So I was just going through all my plushies, and I only have one new pattern that you guys haven't seen before. So I guess I'll show you that one first. And I wish I could say that I really loved it. But I think it was because of the yarn that I was using. So my daughters really liked it. So I'm not done with the pattern. Like, I still am going to give it a shot, but just, we'll see. But I did make a shark, and this is from Teresa's Crochet Shop, her mini shark pattern that has 3 different kinds of sharks. I used this is Chenille Home Slim or Sweet Snuggles Light, and a 5.5 millimeter hook. And the problem that I had with this is I went to put on, they usually have you put a white belly patch on, and I don't know what it was, whether it was the yarn was thicker, this was thinner, but when I went to put on the belly patch, it was so bulky and big that it looked stupid. And so I just decided to take it off. I literally had to cut it off, and he's just a shark with not a white belly. Both of my daughters thought it was cute, but I think I just got so frustrated that it wasn't working that I only made one. I do want to make the other ones, just have not got around to it. Now this next one I haven't made in quite a while, but I made these minions like the first day of the month, and I ended up taking them to my market 2 weeks ago, and all 4 of them sold. Spoiler alert for my market recap video that'll be coming out later this month. So I decided that I needed to make more of them, and I had made the big bob, and at my booth I kind of had them like displayed next to the big bob, and I guess that's maybe why they sold. I don't know. I sell them, the ones that I made out of Premier Plush, I sell for $10, but I was running low on one of the colors, and so I decided to make some more in the demi pearl. So this is all demi pearl yarn, and not the white, because demi pearl doesn't have like a white. So I made 3 out of demi pearl, and I am gonna up the price of these to $12 because they are bigger, quite a bit. I don't have the other ones to compare to, but I use a 7 millimeter hook with demi pearl, and I think even the smaller ones a while ago, I used to charge 11, so I'm pretty sure I can get 12 out of these. 3 little minions plus 4 minions that I've made so far is 7. So 7 minions. The next thing I made was one of the demi gorgons from Just a Mom Crocheting, I think is the name of her account. And I had another one made last month, but I wanted to have 2 on display, and spoiler alert, I haven't sold any yet. So here's another of the I don't even know how to say it. Anyways, these I'm charging $25 for, so we'll see if any sell this coming weekend. I also made another axolotl. This is from Peach Puffin Patterns. And you saw this one in the Crochet Everything Teal video, which I guess I'll just get that one out right now. So I made this one in the Teal challenge, and then I have this one. So we have 2 of the axolotls. And those axolotls I do charge $16 each for. Another, just one thing that I made is the little Myrtle the Turtles. And I'm using, for Myrtles, I'm using Chenille Basics tie-dye, just like everybody else. And these just glitter disc eyes. I think they're glitter disc eyes. I don't remember. But I'm using the bigger eyes, and I can't remember. I think I put 20 on these, but I haven't sold any yet. So I did have some little of the tofu turtles that sold, but they were only 12. So these are a higher price point. I know I might go down to 18 on them. I'm not sure. Would love to know what you guys charge for Myrtle the Turtle out of Premier Basics Chenille. I thought 20, but I don't know. I need to time myself again and just see how quickly they work up, because I don't know. I think they're worth 20. But anyway, 2 Halloween things that I made was this Boo Bear, and this is a free pattern by Hook and Haven on Instagram. And then I also made another candy corn jelly cat looking guy, and this one I just freehand. Spoiler alert, also I sold out of these, so I made another one to have at my market this weekend. But this one, I made up a little feet pattern, and then I think this one, you can decide how big you want your little candy corn. And so you just chain however big you want it. This one I did, I think 15. And then you just crochet around the chain for a couple times, and then you just start decreasing. And then for this, I decreased like at the ends every other row for a while, and then as I got closer to the top, I decreased like every round until I got to the very tippy top. And then I just kind of I think I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I tried to do 5 or 6 rounds of each color, and that's it. But apparently people like these with the legs, with the little jelly cat legs. So I only had time to make one more, and this will probably be it because I don't have any more markets after this weekend. Okay, so the next thing that I made is actually the start of a new challenge that I'm going to be starting on my channel, where I'm going to be trying to use up my Parfait Chunky yarn. I don't know what it is, like maybe I just feel like the Parfait Chunky is too small and it makes the plushies too small, that I pulled out of when I did my yarn organization video. You can watch that video here. And so I want to use up all of this like Parfait Chunky that I have. And so I put it all into this little like zipper under the bed tote thing. I haven't decided exactly how I'm gonna do this, but I did have one of my friends order a Labubu, and she had bought another one from me. She wanted another one for another like birthday gift for someone else. The one I had made her before was out of Parfait Chunky, and so I felt kind of like I needed to make the second one out of Parfait Chunky because she paid the same price, which was $18. And so here is the little Labubu that I made in, I think it was hibiscus. She said she wanted hot pink. So here it is. And this was a full skein of Parfait Chunky. And this is all I have left of, I think this is shell. So this is the Labubu I made. And the next thing I made more of are the itty bitty snakes, and I had time to make 5 more. So we have a purple one, this teal one you saw in the teal challenge, the teal color challenge, and then I made a blue one, a red one, and then this color of one. I needed to make these because I did sell out of the itty bitty snakes at my last market. So these are just 5 more to hopefully sell out of again, but these are kind of fun to make, and I'm making them out of my Chenille Home Slim and Sweet Snuggles Light yarn that I have, and I just like the way that they're soft, and they, I don't know, I said this before, but I really do love Sweet Snuggles Light and Chenille Home Slim. And I mean, I think Mere Plush is definitely a dupe for it, but I'm trying to use up old yarn. Okay, and now we're gonna talk puppies for a second, because I really do love the little puppies that I'm making. And I was making the pattern wrong. I know. I was making it wrong, and I didn't even realize what I was doing, that I was doing it wrong. And basically, this pattern is a great pattern. I stand behind this pattern 100%, and I am taking full ownership of the fact that I read the dang pattern wrong. And maybe it just wasn't clear to me because the way I was making the pattern, I kind of messed myself up from the beginning, and I'm going to get into all of that. I have since remade the pattern, not 1, not 2, not 3, 4 times since that last video. No, 3. I made 3. I made 3 more dogs because I wanted to like really test it out, making it the way that the pattern is designed. And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about, I guess. Okay. So here are 3 more of the puppies that I made from this pattern, from the tiny puppies with beds. I made this little white Maltese looking dog. I made the little spaniel looking dog. And I also made this variegated, I don't know what you would call this kind. So yeah, I have 3 more puppies, and I also made 4 more beds. I made this one, this one, this one, and then this one I decided to use up little bits of yarn from my scrap yarn, and it was fun to make, but it did take a little bit longer. I mean, if people really love it, I guess I could make another one, but I was trying to use up little like tiny balls of yarn out of my scrap bin just for something to do. It's cute. So now let's talk about the pattern really quick, because I kind of felt like a schmuck. I'll be honest, when it was pointed out to me that I, in fact, was doing the pattern wrong. Yep, I was doing it wrong. And going back through the pattern now, I realized that, like, duh, I messed myself up from the beginning, because here is one of the dogs that didn't sell my first market that I took them to. I did end up selling 5 of them, but I was crocheting the legs closed and then crocheting them into the round. And I was thinking, like, why is there an extra row, or why is there an extra round? Like, it didn't even dawn on me that she was doing the same technique that I literally talked about like 3 or 4 videos ago when I was making the little duck, and you crochet the legs in like in 2 different rounds. So it appears that it's like sewn on, but it's actually crocheted in the round. And I don't know why that didn't even dawn on me that that's what the pattern designer was doing. But in my defense, I had already sewn the little dog's legs closed. So it wasn't even like clicking in my brain that I was doing it wrong. So duh, like really, like duh, Tammy, duh. And so thank you to my friend Liz. I'm just gonna like shout it out now because she was so nice and stuff when she messaged me, and she, you know, and it was more just like a duh moment for me. I'm like, duh, like why didn't I not know that that's what they were doing? But it was because earlier in the pattern, I had already like decided, like in my little like, oh, I'm an expert, you know, I'm gonna like make it easier on myself and, you know, crochet the legs into the round. So literally I shot myself in the foot before I even got to the part in the pattern where the legs were. So lesson learned. In my defense though, and another in my defense, like, okay, in the pattern, a note could have been added that said that you were going to be crocheting the legs in 2 different rounds, because I mean, she says in there that you're crocheting 3 of the stitches, and then in the next, you know, round you do 3 more of the stitches. It's going to say that I was doomed to not do the pattern right from the beginning when I made the decision to crochet the legs closed, because that's the first step of the pattern. So it's all on me. Like, I didn't follow the pattern. So a couple videos ago when I first showed these guys, and then when I talked about maybe mistakes in the pattern, I don't think there's really any mistakes in the pattern, honestly. It was totally user error, so whatever. So let me just show you the difference, that what happened when I followed the pattern exactly as it's written. Okay, which one did I do? This one. So this is where I followed the pattern and crocheted the legs into the round. You get actually 2 more rounds of the body. So this little guy is a little short, squatty guy. And then this one is actually as long as it's supposed to be, because it's 2 extra rounds. And then if you compare the feet, so these are crocheted into the round. See his little tiny body. And then these are crocheted across 2 rows. See how it looks like they're actually sewn on, but they're actually just crocheted in the round on 2 different rounds. And then when you see them in their little bed, like here's his little bed. He actually fits very nicely in there. And then, I mean, these guys still fit in the bed, but they're a little bit smaller in the bed. So obviously I'm going to make them right from now on, but you know, then I went ahead and made this one so he fits in the bed a little bit better. And then this one too. So I guess moral of the story is that if you want to crochet into the round, just follow the pattern, because that's really what you do. You crochet the first 3 stitches into round, whatever it is, 4 or 5, and then the next 4 and the next 3 stitches. And it's really genius. I made this one this morning walking on the treadmill. I was walking on the treadmill and I made most of this in a 45-minute walk. And then I just had to finish it up and make the ears like off the treadmill. The other cool thing about this pattern that I don't think I've mentioned very much before is, now that I've made so many, I think I've made 14 now. I've made 14 of these little dogs. But anyways, what I'm doing now is I'm like mixing and matching parts, because, you know, you have different versions of dogs. So for this one, I wanted like a Maltese looking dog. And so I took the head of one of them. I'll put it on the screen. I'll look. I don't have my iPad up here to check it. Anyways, I took the head of one dog, and then I decided that I wanted it to have floppy ears. So I took the lab ears off of another dog, and made this little dog. So you can mix and match the dog parts. So you can come up with, like, you know, if you wanted this little dog to have these little like ears that go like that, you could do that, or you could give them really floppy ears like the spaniel ears. But yeah, so moral of the dang story is I still love this puppy pattern, and I'm going to continue making these puppies, but I'm going to make them the right way now, where you crochet the legs into 2 rounds. Yeah. And I'm still not doing the safety noses. I felt that I just find it awkward to use safety noses, and I just like the way the little like noses look when you just crochet them on, or when you just like use embroidery on them. I don't want to do embroidery eyes on these, just because I'm trying to keep them at the $28 price point, and 28 seemed to be fine for a price for them. So yeah, I mean, I could even probably go up to 30 because they have the adoption certificate and stuff. So anyways, Still love this little dog pattern. Before I get into all the teal plushies that you can check out all the details on in this video here, it was the video I did earlier this week. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about the patterns. We're just kind of run through them real quick just so that they're in my like monthly recap. We are gonna breeze through the teal plushies from that last video. And at the end, we are still gonna be doing some embroidery of some plushies. So stick around for that, or you can fast forward through this section and check out the embroidery at the end. All right, start with the favorite because she's cute and she gets the spotlight, and I'm not going to name her because I don't want to get too attached to Snugglebeans Crochet Teal Dragon. She's really cute. I used fur yarn. I used up some of my fur yarn. It just makes her so soft. But yeah, this is really a cute dragon. I love her. She just has a cute little face and her little tail. So Snugglebeans Crochet Teal Dragon. Splooting Dragon, I guess. I don't know. Okay, we really just are gonna breeze through these because you literally just saw them in a video a couple days ago. Perry the Platypus. We have a little eagle. We've got the teal pumpkin, and this is a free pattern. I wanted to make another one in orange, but I just didn't get around to it. We have this jellyfish. We've got little Sully. Did not get a chance to make any more before my market, so it's fine. Then we have the unraveled and unwound stress ball buddy, which is just my cactus buddy. That has the removable ball, and it's like a ball holder. I guess I'm gonna just call it a cactus ball holder. I don't know. Because definitely not, it would be more stressful to try and like squeeze this ball. So it's not a stress ball buddy. It's just a ball buddy, cactus ball buddy. And last but certainly not least is my cute little elephant snuggler. I love her. I think I might do the little trick where you put her tail or her trunk up by like adding some stitches right here and pulling it, because I think she might look cuter with her little trunk up like that. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. So I need to do that before I take her to the market this weekend. Okay, so I took away one of the dog beds because I'm gonna bring it to sell, but I'm not selling the bed without the plushie. I just wanted to have more colors. So I'm not technically going to count this in my total, but I've added up all of the number of plushies that I crocheted so far this month and the dollar amount for what they're worth. And I have crocheted 29 items, and the total value of those items is $560. And I think, yeah, I think they're all ones that I'm going to be selling. So we will see how they do at the market. So not too bad for the first part of the month. Ideally, I'd like to do $1,000 in inventory every single month, but I don't really know if that's going to be possible, but I guess we will just wait and see. I will have another one of these roundup videos close to the end of the month. It might be a little bit after because I do have a market November 8th. And so there's likely going to be a little bit of November's inventory in that video. So we will just play it by ear, but there will be a part 2 for what I crocheted in the month of October. Okay, now this is just a bonus section for this video because I didn't want to do a whole separate video for this, but I was setting up some new grid walls that I ordered that are a lot more like durable and not as flimsy as the ones that I was using before. So these 3 Loveys were hanging up there, and they all had safety eyes. And so I decided that I wanted to go ahead and just pull out the safety eyes and then embroider the eyes so that they could maybe get sold. I've had these 3 for quite a while, and I just haven't been displaying them because of the safety eyes. So first things first is I needed to remove the safety eyes that I had put into these plushies. So the first one we're going to do is the deer. So I'm just going to use like these pliers and a knife, not a knife, I'm going to use pliers and a flathead screwdriver, and I'm just going to see if I can kind of pop them off. And you'll see in these video clips that they did not come off so easily from the deer. And I did eventually get them out, but you can watch me struggle to get them out on this one. Once I got them out, then it was time to put some new embroidery eyes on them. And I've started using the posh yarn, just some black posh yarn, because I feel like I have to do less passes than with cotton yarn. And I think it turns out pretty good. So how I do my eyes is I like to come up from the bottom of the plushie into where the eye would be, and sometimes I like to put a safety eye just kind of on the plushie to kind of gauge where I want it. But since I had just pulled these eyes out, I kind of knew exactly where I wanted them to go. And then I will just do several passes back and forth from the top of the eye to the bottom of the eye until it's full enough and until I like the way that it looks. Then what I do is I go through the plushie and I go to the other side and I do the exact same thing. And once I like the way that looks, then I'm going to go ahead and pull the yarn and just kind of leave it hanging out, because we're going to use the ends of those for the eyelashes. And then I'm going to grab the cotton white yarn, and what I like to do is do the under eyes first, and I'll do the first eye, and again leave a little bit of string on the outside so that you can adjust it, and then go through the plushie and do the other bottom of the eye, and then go through the plushie again. It's like you're going back and forth. And then I like to do the little highlights, the little like white highlights in the eye. And this is where it can get a little tricky because you're going back and forth and you have to, and obviously there could be an easier way to do this, but this is just how I do it. So you put the first little highlight, and then I like to go over and do the second little highlight on the other eye. Now, what sometimes happens is you will pull your yarn through, and so what I've been doing recently is I have been putting a needle through the little eye so that when I go to adjust the other eye pupil, the eye highlight, it doesn't pull through. And that's made it a lot easier to not have to try and dig for your yarn, which you'll see in these clips, you know, that did happen. So the next one that I did was the sloth, and for this one, the eyes were just on this outer portion. These took a little bit to get off. All right, so now I'll show you the 3 plushies with their new embroidered eyes. So we have the little deer. This is the Mama Made Minis from their book. So she is all ready to go up on the baby safe wall. Needs to get her fuzz off of her. The next one I did was the sloth, and these took a little while to come off, but it did finally pop off, and I was able to get new little eyes put on the sloth. And so this is just this is the little size. I charged $30 for these, $45 for the bigger ones. And then the last one that I did was the little cow from BK Crochet. And these ironically came off really easy. So I'm kind of glad that this one has kind of just been set aside for a while, and I'm not planning to put any safety eyes on any of my Loveys, because I just feel like Loveys are definitely for more little kids, under 3. So yeah, but I do love this little pattern. I need to make another strawberry cow because that one always seems to sell. But I'm not adding these to my inventory number or anything that I crocheted. I just wanted to share with you guys those tips on embroidering eyes. I do have a tutorial here on my channel that I will link in the description box, where I talk you through how I do it. Just note that my most recent tip is to, put a needle through one of the whites of the eye while you're working on the other one so it doesn't pull through. So that's just my most recent tip that I'm using, as well as I'm using thicker yarn. You can also double up the cotton yarn if you still prefer to use cotton yarn to do your eye embroidery. Right now I'm using Posh and it's working out pretty good. So I think that is going to do it for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of my future videos. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye. In my mouth. Hair is getting in my mouth. This is what happens when I put my hair down. Anyways, I needed to, wait, what do I want to say? The demigorgons of my the itty bitty steaks. The itty bitty steak.